Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Generation. And this is a new teenage coming-of-age series that's coming out on HBO Max. It's definitely going to be getting comparisons to things like Euphoria. And in that vein of this is a new age kind of coming-of-age story of a bunch of teens doing a bunch of teen things, and this is from creators Daniel and Zelda Brands, and you have this ensemble here. Probably the person who's going to get the most attention in this, in most reviews and looking at this series, is Justice Smith, who I know I've previously couldn't stand in things, just so annoying, didn't really like him at all in Detective Pikachu, honestly. Wasn't there for the human characters. What are you even here for? But obviously this is very much a bunch of human characters. A bunch of teenagers dealing with their different situations. And Justice Smith is at the forefront. He's the boldest character in the series. He has a very distinct look to him. He gets in trouble because he has like crop tops on and like his abs are just out there. And he's very flamboyantly gay, and he's developing these feelings for his counselor who is also gay, and who obviously is not a teenager and would not be a good thing. And then you have all these other stories of, say, a young man confronting his homosexuality and being around, like, Justice Smith's character, who's very much like he owns it. And then you have a budding lesbian relationship between two characters. And while all of these different stories are going around, these interactions, you have this one particular storyline going on of coming back and forth to an unexpected birth at a mall in a bathroom. And you have that cutting back and forth through the first 7 episodes of this series. And I thought it was an interesting idea to have the narrative structured in that way, as they all converge together in a collective in this last episode of the season, dealing with that particular story. And out of this series, I think that's one of the more interesting and well-developed things, along with Justice Smith's character being such a vibrant and big personality in the series. But in many ways, this is a pretty straightforward. It's very tropey and cliched. I know there's a lot more experimenting and representation in this particular show, but there's also series like Euphoria that have come out, and other series like it that have kind of blazed that trail for Generation that kind of follows suit behind it. And so far, watching these first 8 episodes of this series, I was definitely entertained. I'm definitely going to admit that. And there's funny moments, there's dramatic moments, there's intense moments. There's one particular episode, along with the last episode dealing with this birth, there's one particular episode that I liked a lot, of them going on a field trip and being at this motel afterwards and having these non-linear storylines of how each of these characters is dealing with their evenings in this motel, confronting their feelings, engaging with each other, leading up to a big particular moment that kind of wraps up each of these storylines collectively, because it's that bold of a moment. And there's those ways of how these episodes are constructed. I appreciated them. It was definitely more interesting in those kinds of episodes. But I don't know how much this show is going to surprise people or bring something new or fresh in terms of the storylines going on. I did appreciate the freshness in terms of the storytelling. And this is definitely game cast. And throwing out Nathania Alexander, Chloe East, Neva Mao, Lukita Maxwell, Haley Sanchez, Schlesinger, and you Chase Sui Wonders, and you just have this big ensemble of young actors. You have people like Martha Plimpton, who is from the Goonies, who's playing this really uptight mother. She was a challenge, that particular character in this film, but in general, I think this show is definitely enjoyable, and I think will speak to a lot of young people as well. Even if it's not something that's like leading the way in terms of this generation's of coming of age teenage stories, I think it definitely has enough that's worth checking out the 8 episodes. But those are my thoughts on Generation. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.